I'm Teresa Dybvig, Director of the Well-Balanced Pianist. Healthy movement is a core component of the Well-Balanced Pianist programs. Of course, we're mostly focused on healthy movement for playing the piano, but so many of our students have told us in their early lessons that using the mouse is difficult or painful for them, that I developed these strategies to help them out. I hope they help you too. People often tell me that their index finger or their wrist or forearm hurts when they use the mouse. Here's one reason why. The mouse, because of its construction, invites us to position it facing straight forward and then use the index finger for the left click and the middle finger for the right click. Now, I apologize to you if you're left-handed. I think the instructions are clearer when I give them for just one hand, and I myself am right-handed. You've probably been translating these kinds of things for your entire life, so once again, just reverse the directions so they apply to your own hand. When you use the index finger for the left click, it over-straightens the outside of the wrist and pulls the index finger away from the middle finger. This creates the tension in the index finger, the hand, the wrist, and the forearm. But we don't have to do any of that. You can turn your mouse very slightly to the left and use your thumb for that left click. It's so easy, and it doesn't pull any part of our hand or wrist or forearm out of alignment. And then you can use your index finger for the right click as necessary. Now when you click that right click with your thumb, rest your forearm down easily and use this tiny movement of the thumb. This is a movement of the whole thumb generated at the base of the hand. You might feel a subtle and tiny cooperative spiraling movement back into the forearm, and that's good. You'll probably touch the mouse with the side of your thumb, and that's fine. You may even touch it slightly farther back if you have a smaller mouse. And by the way, if you have a small mouse or a tiny mouse, my best advice is to go get a bigger mouse. Now, sometimes people feel that they need to click the mouse with their thumb tip, like that. And you really want to avoid that movement of squeezing in at the nail joint. You want to avoid that movement in all of your fingers. Sometimes people feel that they should squeeze the mouse with all of their fingers, and that's just not necessary. It's best if the fingers maintain their natural length, and it's fine if the fingertips graze the surface of the desk or the mouse pad when we move the mouse from place to place. Another way we commonly stress our bodies when we use the mouse is by bending at the wrist when we move the cursor from side to side, like this. This brings the wrist out of its natural side-to-side alignment by angling it this way or by over-straightening the outside of the wrist. Every time we pull the wrist out of its natural alignment, we cause tension in the wrist, forearm, elbow, even up into the shoulder and neck. And we move the cursor so much in the course of a day of using the computer that you can imagine why the discomfort builds up. Fortunately, we never need to bend at the wrist in order to move the cursor. When the hand and forearm move together as a unit, the wrist can remain in its natural alignment with barely any effort on our part. We don't need to hold the wrist rigid in order to keep it in alignment. As a matter of fact, when we move the hand and forearm together as a unit, we hardly feel the wrist at all. This means you can apply this idea with ease, which is the only way to apply any of these ideas, and really the only way to apply any idea about movement. Movement can be lively, but you never want it to be tense. I hope these ideas will benefit you, and that using the mouse will become more comfortable for you. If any of these ideas does not make you more comfortable, just let that idea go. It doesn't apply to you, or you need more individualized attention. And please be sure to be in touch with me at wellbalancedpianist.com if you have any questions.